welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, hi, my name is Mocha, and on the channel we talk about all things crochet and crafts. I had gotten a request to learn how to make some less traditional Christmas decorations, because I guess they figured I'm a kind of a odd person and non-traditional person, so I might have some stuff in mind. So I did some searching and some digging around and some experimenting, and I came up with this, what I call non-traditional Christmas tree decoration. Now you can make this like in all sizes. This is made with worsted weight, so that's the reason it's the size it is. And it's approximately, I'd say 18 inches in height and 8 inches in width at its widest point. And it's literally just 3 granny squares of different sizes that are folded over, attached to each other, and then I added bows. Like I said, this is all worsted weight yarn. It whips up really quick, so I figured I would go ahead and just show you how to make these so that you had some more options in the event that you're still making Christmas decorations. I know a lot of you still are. I see your Facebook posts. So in order to get started, I'll move this out of the way. I use 2 different kinds of yarn, and I'm going to go ahead and use these 2. Worsted weight of any whatever will work as long as they work together with each other. This happens to be a Mainstays, I believe. Yeah, Mainstays. And this is Loops and Threads, Soft and Shiny. But again, any worsted weight yarns or any, you can use any weight yarn you want. I'm using worsted because I like the size. It does work up too. If you want them a little smaller, use DK. If you want a little bigger, use a bulkier yarn. It's up to you. And you could start with either of these yarns. Whichever one you want to be the base color is the one that you need to start with. So I'm going to go ahead and use the silver as the base color. And we're literally going to make granny squares. That's what we're doing. We are making granny squares. So I start my granny square with a magic ring, and this is how I make my magic ring. I fold the yarn over, I pull up a loop, and then I just start my granny square. So it's going to be 3 double crochet, my hook is not cooperating. Oh, and your hook should correspond to the hook size for the yarn. So this is a 5.5 millimeter hook. So that's the second one. That's the third double crochet. And you chain 1 and hold on to this so that it doesn't fall apart, but it's my magic ring. And now 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Another chain 1. Get some more yarn. One. 3. And now the 4th and final section, chain 1. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to chain 1 more. We're going to pull our magic ring tight. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the loop that I pulled up when I started the magic ring, which is right here. And it's first round. Okay. So I'm gonna make the small granny square right now, and then I'm gonna go offline. I'm gonna make the other ones, and then we'll come back and we can assemble. But okay, so how I start my next round is I turn a slip stitch into this gap. A lot of people chain one here, but I don't. I just start my next round of granny square. So it's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet. But you can make your granny square any way you want to make it. However you make your granny squares, make them that way. There's no need to like create some new way to make your granny square. Just this pattern. I chained 1, and now I'm doing 3 more double crochet in that same space. You know, again, like you do a regular granny square. Okay. We jump to the next chain 1 space, which is right here. And we're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet again. Some people do a chain 1 between their chain spaces. I don't. I just jump from space to space. But if you like your granny squares a little gappier, then feel free to do that. Chain 1 space. 3 more. And I mean, you don't even have to use this kind of granny square. You can use any granny square you want. Any granny square pattern you want is fair game. I just happen to like, I don't know, I guess the traditional granny square look. So that's why I always kind of fall back on the traditional granny square. But I mean, any granny square pattern you like, you can use. So if you use a different granny square pattern and you make this tree, shoot me pictures because I would love to see how yours look. Here's the second half of this corner. Okay, now the final corner. Two, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to slip stitch into this slip stitch from the last row, and there. Okay. And here we have the small square. So now we're going to go ahead and I am going to put the trim on the small square. And so I'm just going to add the trim. I'm just going to do this. Drape the new color over. Go through the loop from the old color. Tighten it down. Okay, the shiny's a little slippery. It's also a little thinner for a 4, but it says it's a 4. Okay, so I'm going to chain 1 to secure that. And now I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to just do another round of granny squares. Or another granny square round, I should say. There's 1, 2, 3. Now jump into a corner. Oops. It's 3, chain 1, 3 more to make this corner. Granny squares are therapeutic. I mean, you know, they work up fast. You can make them any size you want to make them. You know, you can join them together, or you can make one gigantic one. There's just so much you can do with a granny square. And again, as I said earlier, there's so many different patterns for them. And I mean, even the most difficult granny square pattern, once you get the pattern down, it becomes pretty mindless as well, because you don't never really have to count. You just really need to know where to place stitches. And once you memorize where to place each stitch, then it's one of the more mindless stitches and patterns that you can work with, which I like. Because sometimes you just want to just mindlessly sit down with a cup of tea and just do your craft. You don't want to worry about whether or not you've got the proper amount of stitches, or you're putting the things in the right gaps, or like, you know, things are offset properly, yada yada yada. Sometimes you just want to sit and crochet, and granny squares are great for that. My apologies if I'm not showing myself doing this on camera, but let's be real, y'all. Most of you probably already know how to do a granny square. So you really don't need to see me do the granny square. I'm just doing it on camera because, well, you know, this would be a pretty short video if I didn't otherwise, you know? Or you'll soon find out, because this tree is really easy to make once you have the granny squares done. Okay, final corner. Chain 1. Chain 1. Three. Another join. There you go. Okay, so here you see it better. That's the first square. So the first square is literally just one full round of the solid color after you've created the center, and then a round of your second color. Your next square, you'll do an extra row. So if your first square is total 1, 2, 3 rows, your next one will be 4 rows total. So you'll have 3 rows of the solid color and then 1 row of the second color. And then your biggest square will be 1, 2, 3. We can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you could do 3, 4, 5. You could do 4, 5, 6. But the object is for each square to be 1 row larger than the last one. So go ahead and make your granny squares, and we will come back and I will show you how to put the tree together. Okay, and we're back. And as you can see, we have a small square, a medium square, and a large square. The small square, as I said, is 1, 2, 3, and then trim. The medium is 1, 2, 3, and then trim. And the large is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the trim. So as long as like each one is like at least one row larger than the other, this tree will work. So we're going to start with the biggest one, and I'm going to turn it over so that the wrong side is up. Whichever side you, for me, the wrong side is the side where I trim my ends and weave in my ends. So, sorry, I'm doing that wrong. Right side up, and you want to find the spot on the wrong side find the place on the wrong side that you don't have like any like ends sticking up. And then flip it back over to the right side, and then, no, it's not gonna work. There we go. Fold it up. You can do the other way too. If you wanted to do the wrong side and fold up the right side onto the wrong side, you can do that too. See? Either way works. And you can fold this as high as you want. You could fold it almost in half if you wanted to. You could fold it down a row. You could fold it down 2 rows. You could fold it to the center. But wherever you decide that you want to fold it is up to you. I normally come down like 2 rows. So, yeah. That's why I'm going to fold this one. Get this out of the way so you can see. Then I'm going to take a piece of the main color yarn and cut about a foot or so. I take the piece of yarn that I cut and I put it through. You just have to find some place where you want to, like, because the object is to tie this to this. So, however you want to tie it, you can. How I do it though is, and go through, take the thread and take the yarn and go through to the back. And then I take the other end and I go in through to the back. And you're going to see this here, but that's okay because you're going to cover that with a bow. And then you come to the back and you tie the string. You don't want to tie it too tight because you don't want it to bunch in front, but you want to tie it tight enough that it's going to not like wiggle itself out. And then make a knot. And then if you want to go back through a second time, you can. So I kind of crisscross it. Bring this around this way. And bring this one back around the other way. And tie another knot. And now you have created a bow for the tree. And then go ahead and do that with the other 2 squares. Another length of yarn. Look at your square, decide where you want to fold it. Fold it over, either good side on the bad, or right side on the wrong, or wrong side on the right. Whichever one you want to do. Just find a good spot to bring one side through. I'm sorry about filming this on camera. How about this on camera, huh? And then the other side through. Bring it around again if you want. Here. Here's the second one. And then the last one. The smaller one may be a little trickier. The smaller one, you may not have enough room to actually do. So like you like leave one row instead. That's fine. Just enough to kind of get that kind of like that bowl shape, if you know what I mean. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just so it kind of has that pine tree look to it. It's a little high, but it'll work. Okay, that one I'm only going to tie once because of where it sits. So, okay. We now have all three of these. Oh, here it is. Yeah, you're going to take the smallest one and you're going to set it on top of the medium one. And then the medium one goes on top of the large one. And that's how you form the tree. Now we're going to sew these together. Or I say so, but really we're tying. In a perfect world, you will have left enough string that you can take the big one or take the smaller one and tie it directly to the one that sits on by going into the gaps between here. So I can do it for this one. I don't know if I'll be able to do it with the other one, but we're going to do it with this one. So you're going to take the ends that you have left and put them through to the other side of the larger triangle or the larger square that you turn into a triangle. And you're going to flip it over. And you're going to tie them in the knot as such. Come back over, make sure that they're like even and not lopsided when you're tying them. And then if you want it a little more secure, I kind of like mine fiddly because I kind of like how to arrange them in different ways. So I'm not going to do it. But if you want it to be a little more solid, you could take a tapestry needle and like either use these ends or thread the needle with more solid color thread and sew through the seam so that you can get so that it sits more solid. But the fact that it moves around a little bit doesn't bother me. Okay, and then you're going to take the medium one and do the exact same thing with the larger one. I may have just enough thread to tie this. If not, if you don't have enough thread to tie yours, then again, go ahead and thread a tapestry needle and just run it through the same spots to tighten it down, to sew them together and tighten it down. But I'm gonna have just enough to do this. And I mean, these are decorations. It's not like they're going to be worn or used or anything. So for me, them being completely, totally secure isn't as much of a factor. Okay. We have now assembled the tree. And now we shall work on the bows. I'm going to do the bows. You can do the bows with either color, or you can use a completely different color if you want to. Like, for instance, with this one, I used red bows. But for this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my second color for bows, I think. I'm going to try it. I'm going to see if I like it. And if I don't like it, then I'll switch to the other color. So, in order to make the bows, now each of these takes a different size bow. So to make the bow for the smallest one, I'm only going to like chain like 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to half double crochet in the second chain from the hook. Just work my way across. Chain 1, turn. Little row, half double crochet. Chain 1, turn. And now a third row of half double crochet. Okay. Weave in this end. Not be perfection, just weave it in a few times. And I'm just using my hook to do it. You can use tapestry needle if you want. And do it with the other strand as well. Just run through a couple of stitches. Okay. And cut these ends to get them out of the way. Try to run away. Okay. Now you have to cut a strand of the color that you used. Not too long. You're going to fold the little square you made this way, so long ways. And you're going to tie the other strand around it. Okay. Problem I'm having is this yarn is really slick and it's sliding off my finger. Like that. And then make a knot so that it's not going anywhere. And then you're going to come over to your tree, find where you want to put it. So like right here. And then I'm just going to like take my fingers and shove the ends to the back like this. If you want to use a tapestry needle, you can, if that's easier for you. But for me, this method is just as easy. It would be more aggravating to thread a tapestry needle than it is to shove this through my hand. It decides to be fiddly on me, figures. As soon as I say that, it decides to be difficult. Irony. Not wasted on me at all. There we go. Go through on both sides. Gotta make sure it's placed where you want it to be. And now, like you've done everything else, I made these a little too short, but I'm going to make it work. For once, the yarn being slick paid off. There. And there's the first bow. And now we'll repeat that with the next two bows. So for the first bow, like I said, I chained 6 and then started my half double crochet in the second chain on the hook. For this one, I'm probably going to chain 8 and start the second chain for the hook. And this one, I'm probably going to chain 10 and start the second chain on the hook. And I'm going to do 3 rows for all of them. So and there you have it. A non-traditional crocheted Christmas tree or tree. I mean, you can use this tree any time of year if you want. I mean, if you'd like to decorate with trees, this is a good option. Just use different colors or the colors suit you, that suit your decor or what have you. Yeah, you could use this for like practically anything. But anyway, there you go. If you found this interesting, please hit the like button. And if you think you would, if you're new here and you think you'd like my content, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you know when I go live and when I post videos. I am active on most of my social media pages. I'll have those all listed in the description box below. And if you like my content and you'd like to support me, you can buy me a coffee on either buymeacoffee.com or coffee.com. I'm on both. My galleries are there. You can purchase my patterns if you like them. That you can find those on Buy Me a Coffee and my Ravelry page. And if nothing else, just go ahead and share my content with other people so that other people can come and watch the things that I want to share with everyone. I appreciate you being here. And I will see you in my next upload, whenever that may be. I'm trying to get back into an upload schedule, but it's kind of tough just with the holidays right now. But hit that bell icon and you'll know when I upload something or when I go live. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will chat with you again soon. Bye.